Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing a little bit of canal fishing. I have not fished the urban scene very much the last couple months, so I'm super stoked for today. Fishing a canal that's extremely popular. I know it's highly pressured. We're probably going to have a hard time catching some fish, which is exactly why we're going to be fishing with Senkos and super finesse tactics to try to pull up anything that is willing to bite our baited hook. So stay tuned, enjoy, and let's go get them. Alright, a little bit of urban action today. Let's see if the good old stick bait can do some damage. Water clarity looks a lot better than it did a couple weeks ago when I stopped by here. I didn't even fish it. I just came to check out the water and it was beyond clear. I mean, it was almost like Lake Pleasant. You were able to see the bottom and everything, so definitely not very fishable. You could still fish super clear water in the canal systems. It's just extremely difficult. Something went up and attacked all those little bait fish up there. Probably little dinky bass, but you know, we'll break the ice with anything. We're all right with that. We'll catch some dinks today. Urban areas are absolutely pounded. They are heavily pressured, but you can still find fish up in these areas. Oh, that was a bite. Is he on? No, he's not on. He bit it again. He bit the side of it. Oh my gosh, he's right there. That's hilarious. It's a little school of micro bass. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. There's one. Little dink. We'll take that. We'll take that though. One of the smallest bass that you're probably ever gonna catch on a stick bait. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And we had to catch him. We gotta break the ice, you know. Got that little Hayabusa. Oh, there he goes, right back in. Look at that, I can't even get a hold of my fish today. We got just a little Gary Yamamoto Senko, the good old traditional, cannot go wrong with a green pumpkin black flake with a Hayabusa wacky rig hook right there. These things are so sharp. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know when I flip around a stick bait wacky rig style, I lose a lot of fish. I don't know why, I don't know how, but ever since I started purchasing these hooks over at Copper State Tackle, I just absolutely have been sticking every fish. It's insane. Look at that back-to-back cast, guys. A little bit bigger. This guy's a little fighter, a little fatty. You know, we can't complain about that. That is literally a little fat bass right there. Look at the shoulders on that thing. That's actually a really beautiful fish. That fish has pretty good genetics and he might be able to grow up to be relatively big, which is awesome because we need some good quality fish in the urban settings. I'm hoping that the stick bait can actually draw in some bigger fish. I could always throw in a little crappie grub and just start picking off all of these little dinky bass. I think that would be super sick, especially if I throw it on my my BFS setup. That could be a blast right there. I've been out at the lake so often lately that I'm kind of out of tune. Oh, that was a fish. Got him. Oh my gosh. And guys, this just shows how sharp these little hooks are because they're pinning these little dinky bass. That's so sick. Check out those beautiful little fish. Those are stout fish right here, guys. Very aggressive, stout little bass that I think are going to be in the system for quite a while. I do want to try to get back into the urban fishing a little bit because it's fun. It's nostalgic. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. So, you know, it just reminds me of being a little kid coming out with one rod, one reel, a pack of baits or two, and just ripping around some baits and catching some little fish. Let's check down here, see if there's any current. If there's any current, we might have an opportunity to get a little bit bigger fish. Oh, little bass coming toward. Oh, he turned. Did he grab it? He got it. That's so sick. I literally watched that, guys. I literally watched this little tiny dinky bass come up and just smoke it. He was following the stick bait for a while. Dude was trying to batter himself up. All right, so we got 4 fish so far, not too bad. I did miss 2 other fish. I've seen a couple other bass. I kind of follow the stick bait up a little bit, but what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna change it over to a Ned rig, try to fish below all the bait fish and all the dinky bass, and hope that maybe there's a bigger bass hanging out, lurking below, and we can stick those fish and hopefully get a pretty cool little video. If we don't get anything on the way back, like I said, we're gonna fish the other side, see if we catch anything there. If not, we're gonna stop at one more spot, one more little canal, and I think we should be able to pick off a pretty good fish there. So hope you guys aren't too bored. I know the fish are small, but stay tuned, enjoy, and let's go crank them. There's one. Oh my gosh. Smallest one of the day, I think, on that little Ned Dizzy. That is hilarious. I'll tell you what though, as small as they are, they're girthy little fish. Check that little beautiful fish out right there. They're all stout. All these fish got shoulders on them. Caught that little sucker on that Ned Dizzy by BizBait with the Fat Pack bait, toadstool Ned head. Believe this is a 1/16 ounce or a 3/16 ounce. Little better. On the way back, we're picking off some scraps. We'll take that. These little guys, they got so much life to them. That bite felt a little bit bigger. I was hoping. Seemed like it could have been a bigger fish. Oh my gosh, I have one. He was swimming off with it. Didn't even know. That is hilarious, guys. My goodness. These little bass are probably loving this thing too because it's loaded with garlic. These BizBaits, whether it's a cutter craw, whether it's the Ned Dizzy, doesn't matter. Loaded with garlic. I mean, look how beautiful that fish is. Just insane coloration on him. All right, I'm gonna take 2 more casts just to try to catch a couple more little tiny dinkers. Then we're gonna move on because we got to get at least one good sized fish today. Only one. I don't feel like we're asking for much. Right there, swimming off. Oh my gosh, there's like 3 little ones. You know, this is the biggest one of the day. Barely pinned him too. Tell you what, that little owner hook on those Fat Pack toadstool Ned heads really come in handy. That makes a big difference. We got a fish right here. Just reel into them. It's one thing I noticed with these little guys. You just want to reel into them. You don't want to set the hook. All right, first time the GoPro is overheated today. Had to put a new battery in. But these little bass, the way that you're going to pin them, just reel up tight on them. Don't set the hook. Even if you think that you're setting the hook super lightly, just don't do it. Just reel up almost as if you're fishing with a circle hook, just because their mouths are so little, you know. Oh, no. Well, that is meaning that it is time to go and fish with the BFS setup. So I just flipped it right up into that rack and my leader snapped off. All right guys, so we broke off on the spinning rod. So we got the BFS setup right here. We got the Cast King Zypher BFS reel right here. I love this thing. It's only $79, so it's super cheap and it fishes beautifully. I've never had any sort of issues with this. I also have the Cash and Icon BFS setup. The reason why I like American-made BFS stuff is purely because it's got a little bit more backbone on it, and that backbone just ensures that you can get those bass, catfish, whatever you're fishing for up, especially if you're fishing the canal system, because the canal system sometimes can be a little bit steep. So let's check it out. We got that Ned Dizzy right there. It's already gotten us a boatload of bites. Let's see if it can get us a few more and a few bigger ones at that. All right, so we'll give it here probably about 5 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes of the SD card we'll use over at a different canal. See if we can pick off a bigger fish there. Really surprised there's nothing up in this shade. Oh, fish. Fish. Little guy. Oh, he popped off. He started curving up into there and I was like, we're gonna miss him. These little bass are digging this little Ned bait. There's one. Right up on the wall, right up on the wall. Get up here, buddy. We will take you all day. Man, he downed it. Absolutely downed that. Thank you for the bite, dude. We got a little guy. We got a little guy right down here. Had to turn on the GoPro right there, because of course I dropped down here and then he smacks. What a beautiful little fatty. I want to make sure he doesn't get back in. My goodness, guys. The girth on this fish is ridiculous. I mean, check this out. Look at that. Look at this little fish right here. Stout shoulders, absolutely incredible little bass. I mean, that is insane. Look at that gut. Dude is chowing down. That is nutty. Absolutely insane. Become a future giant. All right, guys, so we're at the final spot. We're gonna give it a shot for just about 10 to 15 minutes. We got a storm coming in, and it's coming in really, really quick. So we're gonna get that BFS set up, we're gonna get out there, and we're gonna crank us a couple more fish. Let's get it. Right on the edge. Oh, he hit it, he hit it. We got smoked. Oh, that's a fish. The heck, he was literally freaking swimming toward us. Hey, we got one fish. There it is right there, guys. That is the last fish of today, and it's the biggest one. Not saying much, but on the BFS gear, super fun. I mean, just look at the weather that we're about to endure. So we're gonna have to head on out.